Welcome to This Week in Vexly. Starting off, we will review our trade ideas from last week. First idea we had from last week was a long on Netflix. Our market maker model was long and Pluto was just starting to come off a buy signal. We also mentioned on our gamma profile that 400 would act as a magnet and be the level price would need to recapture to move higher. Netflix got close to 400 but was rejected, and from Monday's open to high of week Netflix was up 1.12%. For our second idea, we liked SE as a short last week. Our market maker model signaled a short, but Pluto was neutral. On our gamma profile, we mentioned 40 would be the ceiling and our downside target was 38 and below. From Monday's open to low of week, SE was down 9.64%. Now let's look at our Fed and liquidity recap from last week. Starting with CB swap lines, we saw a bump in liquidity, but nothing much compared to the drawdown we've seen over the last 3 months. Next we have overnight repos, which had a small bump to start the week, but not enough buying to have an effect on markets. Lastly, we have the Fed's balance sheet, which, like we've seen for majority of the year, had another week of drawdown. Next we have our weekly market returns, and as you can see, this was a deeply negative week, for SPY being almost -3%. This has been an area of where we can see mean reversion moves, and is something to note going into next week. Next we want to review our heat maps from Friday's close. Remember to pause the video and review the price action. Here are the heat maps for ES, NQ, and RTY. Now let's get into our trade ideas for the week ahead. For our first idea, we like OXY as a long going into the week. Our market maker model is long, but Pluto is currently neutral. Moving to our gamma profile, we have peak negative gamma at 60 and peak positive set at 65. Seeing this, we want to see price hold above 60 for a move towards 65. Next we have our Vanna profile, with peak positive set at 65, and peak negative set at 60. Scrolling down more, we have our skew model, which is mostly flat for the week ahead, and here is the weekly seasonality for OXY. Lastly, we have our VX levels, which show a bid was found at 62.5 last week, and will be a spot to watch. But remember, as we mentioned above, that 60 is the current best risk to reward spot to long for a target of 64 to 65. For our second idea, we like AFRM as a long for the week ahead. Our market maker model is long and Pluto is currently signaling a buy. Moving to our gamma profile, we can see we have a massive negative position at 20. If this position remains, we can expect to see price hold above 20 for the week. But if that positioning rolls lower, we can see price continue lower. Looking lower at our Vanna profile, we have peak positive set at 22.5 and peak negative set at 17.5. Next we have our skew model, which is bullish for the week ahead. Next we have the weekly seasonality for AFRM. And finally we have the VX levels for AFRM. One thing to note is the bid that we saw at 20 last week, and we'll want to see that continue for the week ahead. If price remains above 20, we will target 21 to 22 for price this week. That's it for this week. To recap, we saw a small bump in CB swap liquidity, but nothing else to report. As for the returns, we've recently saw we are at the point where reversion moves are to be expected, but aren't guaranteed. With that being said, we will be watching these trades closely, and need to see price hold above our listed levels for our trade ideas for the week. To recap our trade ideas, we like OXY as a long and want to see price hold above 60 for a shot at 64 to 65. For our second idea, we like AFRM as a long this week, and want to see price stay above 20 for a move to 21 to 22. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.